Sesame Street was an integral part of many childhoods, teaching us our ABCs and 1-2-3s in a fun and educational manner, cemented the show in the hearts and minds of many. So it confused me when Sesame Workshop released a game about leading our favorite blue monster to his doom. Probably an HBO decision, but that still makes me ask the question, can you beat Sesame Street's a monster at the end of this game without killing anyone? We meet the man, the myth, the legend, Grover, after the loading screen. He tells us that we are both stuck in this nightmarish browser game designed in 2011, trying to complete this task laid out for us in the title of the game, to find the monster at the end. Having a basic self-preservation instinct found in most puppets, he realizes that one of us is a nerd who plays video games on the internet, and the other is going to meet the monster at the end of this game. So he lays out his 8-step program for recovery from Tylenol addiction, or his journey to Buddhism, or directions to Douglas, Georgia, or something. I can't really make out what's happening on account of all the screaming. The first game we run into is the lockpicking minigame. If you've ever played a Bethesda game, you should be an expert. Instead, I spend several minutes trying to fit a square peg into a 3-sided hole. I realize that squares have 4 sides, while circles have an unknown number, so closer to 3 than 4. I didn't exactly excel in geometry. Eventually, I started shaking my mouse really hard, and that ended up working, so we move on to the next challenge. Grover is getting desperate at this point, begging for mercy while I stare blankly at him knowing that I hold all the cards. We move into the brick game. No, this isn't Tetris, it's infinitely worse. I was too busy eating a sandwich while the directions were being read to me, so I ended up breaking only green and yellow bricks. No, I'm not colorblind, I'm just brain dead. This causes the game to soft lock, so I reload a save and do it properly this time. He tries the old close your eyes and I'll move these hard hats hiding a green arrow around game, so I close my eyes and wait for the puppet to give me this signal to guess. I have a feeling that it's the one on the left, but I get nervous, second guess myself, and click the one on the right. This causes the game to soft lock again. Elden Ring, go eat your heart out, because Monster at the end of this game is shaping up to be a tough contender and hardest game of 2022. You might say, dude, just reload the save like you did the last time, but joke's on you, you actually have to start the whole game over again. Grover is getting furious at this point. He smashed the arrow into pieces like Will Smith smashed his credibility at the Oscars this year. After telling a joke that will be dated 2 weeks after this video comes out, I realize that the outline of the arrow is still visible telling me which way to go, but this game really wants me to build character or something, so you have to play their little game. The next game entails you clicking on doors until you find the— Ah! Sorry about that. I didn't know that this was going to be a horror game. But after finding the chicken with the arrow, and losing a nice pair of pants, we can move on to the next game. Knots were never my strong suit, and in the game of hands, rope, bowie knife, rope ties hands, bowie knife cuts rope, and hands wield bowie knife. The moral of the story is, I don't have a bowie knife on me, so the odds are stacked in Grover's favor. However, there is hope for us yet, because our mouse arrow isn't actually a hand, it's a star. I don't exactly know where I'm going with this joke, but I untie the arrow and move on to the final challenge. The final challenge in this Saw ripoff is to pass a breathalyzer test. Grover swears that he's a party animal, but his .08 blood alcohol content level is about as hard as a shot of Listerine, so Grover isn't fooling anyone. I pass this final test and make it to the end of the game. Here we are. We've come a long way, Grover and I, but it's time to cash out. From where you're watching, you might say Grover had an 18-carat run of bad luck, but the truth was, the game was rigged from the start. But that game bugged out on me and won't let me pull the rope. I would show me running through this godforsaken game again, but a better representation would be just watching a Dark Souls 3 speedrun, because that's basically what it felt like. Either way, we watch a true twist ending, as it is revealed that you and Grover are the same person. You see, it's quite simple. Grover is named after Grover Cleveland, the only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. Grover represents his first term, and you his second. Knowing that your AP US history teacher would be pissed if he found out that you killed Grover Cleveland, a puppet, and yourself, Grover lives to see another day. And with that corny joke that took way too long to set up, we beat Sesame Street, a monster, at the end of this game, without killing anyone.